Attention passionate Chicago, BEARS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago, BEARS. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most surprising and potentially game-changing trades in recent NFL history. Reports are swirling that the Kansas City Chiefs might be eyeing a blockbuster deal involving their star tight end, Travis Kelce, and the Chicago Bears. Now I know what you're thinking. Kelce is a future Hall of Famer, a guy who has been the cornerstone of the Chiefs' offense for years, and it's hard to imagine such a premier player leaving Kansas City. But the NFL is all about the business, and sometimes a team has to make tough decisions to rebuild or pivot for the future. And this trade, if it goes through, could reshape the NFC North, energize Chicago's offense, and send shockwaves across the league. Let's break down what's being floated around. The Chiefs, sitting comfortably at 8-2, and with a cap space of roughly $3 million, are reportedly considering parting ways with Kelce, who, at 34, remains one of the most dynamic tight ends in NFL history. The reasoning? Well, Kansas City is trying to free up some cap room, around $18 million, to potentially extend Patrick Mahomes with a long-term deal worth around $240 million. Mahomes, as you all know, is the franchise's crown jewel, and the Chiefs want to lock him up without the financial constraints of an aging Kelce on the roster. Plus, Kansas City's offensive line has been leaking sacks, about 25 so far this season, which puts their Super Bowl ambitions at risk if they don't reinforce that front line. So the trade proposal involves sending Kelce to the Bears in exchange for the third-round pick in the 2026 draft and a fifth-round pick in 2027. That might seem like a steep price for a veteran, but it's a strategic move for the Bears, who are currently sitting at 6-3 and have been desperately needing that elite tight end to take their offense to the next level. K-Met has been battling injuries, missing 2 games, and the Bears' passing game has been somewhat inconsistent. Kelce, as an all-pro, would immediately transform their red zone offense. His profile is almost perfect for what the Bears need right now. Last season, Kelce played 9 games, recording 41 receptions on 53 targets for 540 yards and 3 touchdowns. Solid numbers. But what really sets him apart is his YAC, yards after catch, ability, which is around 60 yards per reception. That YAC ability is exactly what Chicago needs, especially considering their current struggles with injuries at wide receiver and the overall inconsistency in their passing game. Kelce's career stats are staggering: over 10 receptions, more than 12 yards, and 85 touchdowns. His PFF grade is consistently around 91.8, and he's been selected to the Pro Bowl 9 times. His route running precision is at 82%, and his blocking isn't bad either, around 87%. He's pretty durable, missing just 1 game this season, and his ability to produce in clutch moments is legendary, especially in the red zone. Think about the impact on the Bears' offense. Adding someone of Kelce's caliber could push their points per game from roughly 24 to over 30 and significantly improve their red zone efficiency, jumping from about 52% to nearly 73%. That's massive. It means more touchdowns, more scoring drives, and a real threat that defenses can't just double-team or ignore. Now, some of you might be wondering, is this really happening? Kelce to the Bears? Well, the rumors are still speculative, but the logic behind it makes sense from both sides. The Chiefs are prioritizing cap relief and addressing their offensive line issues, and Kelce's value on the field remains unmatched. For the Bears, this could be the missing piece to turn their offense into a true threat. Justin Fields could benefit immensely from having a reliable, elite target like Kelce, especially in the red zone, where the Bears have been slightly lacking in precision and consistency. Kelce's experience and football IQ could help elevate the entire unit, giving them more options and flexibility in critical moments. And let's talk about the potential impact on the rest of the division. The NFC North has been a tight race, with teams like the Packers, Lions, and Vikings all vying for supremacy. Adding Kelce to the Bears' roster could give Chicago a serious edge in late-season matchups, especially against division rivals. The combination of Kelce's route running and YAC, paired with K-Met's size and athleticism, would create a nightmare for defenses. Plus, Kels's presence on the field might open up more space for players like Odun's, who's been showing flashes but needs that extra room to operate. Kels's ability to catch 2-1 yards per route run and convert critical third downs could be the difference maker in close games. What about the defensive side of things? Well, with the Bears improving their offense, their defense could get some breathing room. If the offense sustains drives longer and scores more efficiently, the defense can rest more, stay fresh, and focus on key stops. This trade could also indirectly help the defense by keeping the opposing offense on the sidelines longer, reducing their workload and potential fatigue late in games. Now, let's not forget that Kels's addition would also send a message across the league. The Bears are serious about competing, and they're willing to make bold moves to do so. It would be a statement that they're not just rebuilding, they're reloading with top-tier talent. It's reminiscent of how the Chiefs built their dynasty around Patrick Mahomes and Kels's chemistry, which has been one of the most productive tight NQB combos in NFL history. Bringing that kind of dynamic to Chicago could accelerate the team's growth, and perhaps push them into that Super Bowl conversation sooner rather than later. Looking ahead, the odds are also intriguing. Kels's presence could boost the Bears' Super Bowl odds significantly, from around plus 13-0 to somewhere closer to plus 4-0, depending on how the rest of the roster shapes up. The playoffs would become even more exciting with Kels's playoff experience. He's already had multiple deep runs, including a couple of Super Bowl appearances. His playoff production has been stellar, with over 2 touchdowns and 120 yards in key games, and that kind of clutch performer could be exactly what the Bears need when the stakes are highest. Of course, we have to keep in mind the risks and challenges. Trading for a player like Kels is not just about the on-field talent. It's also about chemistry, team dynamics, and how well he would fit into the Bears' offensive system. But given his track record and leadership qualities, he could seamlessly integrate into Chicago's locker room and become a cornerstone for years to come. Plus, the trade would set a precedent. The Bears are willing to go all in for that championship push, even if it means making bold moves now. In conclusion, this potential trade could be a game changer. Kels's arrival would not only elevate the Bears' offense, but also send a clear signal to the rest of the league that Chicago is here to contend, not just rebuild. It's a move that could redefine the division, boost their Super Bowl chances, and energize the fan base. We've seen how Kels's presence elevates the Chiefs. Imagine what he could do in a Bears jersey, leading that offense and making a real run at the title. The NFL is unpredictable, and sometimes the boldest moves produce the biggest rewards. And for us Bears fans, that's what makes this season so exciting to watch unfold. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Bears fans? Is this the move that could finally push our team over the top? Are you excited about the possibility of Kels in Chicago? I want to hear all your thoughts. Drop your comments below and tell me how you'd feel about adding a player of Kels's caliber to our squad. This could be the start of something special, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned, keep supporting the Bears, and let's keep the faith alive. We're on the cusp of something big, and with a little bit of that Bears magic, maybe this is just the beginning of our next Super Bowl run. Thanks for being with us, and as always, bear down.